Hello and welcome back to Automotive Tales. On today's video, we are back working on the Mazda. I say we, not me. I've actually got a professional in to do the job properly. What did the Mazda need doing this time is a great question. So the competition is over, and as you may have noticed already on the channel, I have gone way over budget. I've actually decided to do the fixes the car needs, so when it goes on to its next owner, it's in fine fettle. Now, the MOT is due in the next month or two, and I was a bit concerned about some rust bubbling on the sills. Anybody that's had a Mark IV Fiesta before will know that they do rust. This one actually is in surprisingly good shape, but there were a few worrying patches. So I have sourced a local mobile welder. It came very well recommended from my friend Andy, who drives an old V90. And if you're thinking old and V90 doesn't make sense, go and have a quick Google. It's a very cool car. Just got to wait for Posty to go past. So, Gavin James from Mobile Welding is coming over to sort out the Mazda. So, let's have a look at him getting on with the job.
I'm hoping I can get this done in a day. I wasn't counting on that bit, but...
Yeah, well, we've got to do it in a few stages.
Yeah. It's just built up with loads of filler and...
So it was maybe quite timely to attack this before this got a lot worse. Oh my word, that looks terrible. Nice, so that's the patch made up to replace. That's a pretty good match in terms of profile. I like that. Very nice. So that's addressing the little patch down the front of the sill here.
I'll hold it in place for you, just so you can... just needs a bit more trimming.
There you go, just like that.
Needs a bit more
bit of fettling and then it drops straight in there.
Yeah.
Lovely jubbly. It's going to look nice and tidy when it's done.
Yep.
The last little bit on the driver's side then, just above the little patch down here. It's obviously starting to go, if I can get focus, there we go, just starting to go there. There we go, it's coming on. Now there's a little bit just here, look at that, so that's cleaned up nicely, that was just surface rust.
Can't be, unless it is, I don't know.
What do we think? Factory installation?
No.
Rat's nest?
That's a plastic bag, isn't it?
Goodness
That's
me.
a poo bag or something.
I wonder whether that's been used just to kind of help hold its shape while they've been working on it or something.
I think, I don't know.
Nice.
That one is.
Good.
Not that bit. That bit will be for there. I'm just cutting this down.
Good. Just like that. First bit done.
You never know.
Getting there. Okay, so we've got a nice smooth patch here and here. It's looking really, really smart. You can just about feel the patch there. You almost can't see it. So a little bit of filler later on will smooth all that out, but it's looking really, really sharp. Excellent. So yeah, you can see the little bits there that need doing. So two little patches and one slightly bigger one that goes right over and underneath there. That's coming along nicely. There we go, first tack is in, and I'm just about to start on the other patches as well. Very good. So we can see this patch is all nicely welded in now. It just needs to be machined back. And then here, you almost can't tell, but there's a patch gone in there, which wrapped underneath, and then there's a separate patch that's gone in the top because you've got two separate radii, which is really difficult to do without a proper set of jigs. But I tell you what, you wouldn't bloody know that's been done in two parts, would you? Nice little radius on there, and you can just see it's ever so slightly sort of dipped in from the rest of it, so we can put a bit of filler on and smooth all that out, so you'll never know. Rather than it sticking proud, and then you'll see it once it's been painted. And this little patch here didn't actually need a patch putting in it. Just a few blobs of weld. It's cleaned up quite nicely and is nice and solid. So yeah, it's coming on very nicely. So the light is fading on day one, so I'll show you where we've got up to, where Gav has got up to on the welding. So we've patched two bits here actually, so you can just see where it goes in slightly. He's left me some room to just put a small bit of filler over that and smooth all of that out. So repaired quite a big hole here and another little patch here. We also did quite a big repair in this corner here, where they're notorious for rusting anyway. And that's all primed, ready for me to paint and then put some under seal on the undersides underneath here, where he's had to do some welding up to the seam. Over on the driver's side, so there was a small patch here at the front of the sill, which has all been tidied up. That's just ready for a little bit of filler just to clean that up. And then here, I mean, it looks really, really nice and solid again. So we took out a good few patches here. And again, you can just see it dips in slightly, so it gives me a little bit of space to put a thin skim of filler over that just to tidy that up so it doesn't bulge out. And there was just a little bit here, which actually didn't need welding in the end. It just needed the surface rust nipping off. And then it's on to the wheel arches. So rear left here on the passenger side, it doesn't look terrible, but we had a bit of a poke around, decided to leave this for day 2, not because this is particularly bad, but because of the other side, which looks like this. So it is a real old mess in there. So we're not going to pull at that today, going to wait and do another whole day, try and sort all of this out, and the same on the other side to stabilize all of this and make it sound for the MOT. But that's more than a couple of hours of the work, so we don't get part way through and leave it with lots of holes and things. So we're going to dig into that next time. So for now, she's got some nice little primer patches. We'll fix these bits, some more primer patches, and then I've got to work out what I'm going to do with paint. I'm going to maybe try and just paint from here down. It's not going to look great because this is never going to be red again. It's really very, very pink. Although it doesn't look as pink on the camera, actually. It looks quite red on here. So yeah, I'll probably paint from this kind of trim line down just to tidy it up. It's never going to be a concourse car, but it will hopefully make somebody a very nice little first car. And it'll be all sound and MOT'd before it goes. So first stage is in. You can see the seam up here, it's been repaired. We're now working in the arch at the back to fill the many holes. Just like that, the sun has come out, so I can show you the finished article. So we've replaced the seam underneath here, which was all very, very crusty. And then we've got a new return in here to strengthen all of that up. And obviously there's still a little bit of kind of surface corrosion on there, but this is all fairly solid. The risk was if we go too much further up, we're going to start coming all the way around here and needing a huge amount of repair, which isn't really worth it for the car. So we've got the car to a good, really nice, stable position, all nice and solid through here. So a new piece on here. Oh, stuck my hands in the stuff that's still wet, like an idiot. A new piece round in here, and all this seam sealed in, and it's tied back in to the sill under here. So a little bit of filler just to get rid of some of these little pop marks. They've all been treated. And then a little bit of paint, and it should look nice and smart. But the most important thing is, you can now go for an MOT. So I have been looking for a new camera angle to try and film the outro of this, and we've ended up with something that's very MySpace. If you don't know what that means, well, congratulations, you're very young. If you do know what that means, well, you're old like me. The reason for this is I wanted to try and get Gav's logo in the outro video. But anywho's. So, that's kind of it for the welding. The next job is going to be to do the filler, get some paint on, make it presentable for the MOT and for somebody's first car. It's never going to be concourse. It's just got to be, you know, fixed reasonably well. And hopefully it will last somebody a good couple of years. So that's all for this episode of Automotive Tales. Check back in next time when we'll probably be doing some other car stuff. And at some point in the future, I will do a video where I tot up what I have spent on this car, because I can guarantee it's more than the car is worth. But that's not why we do these things, right? Anyway, that's all for this episode. Bye for now. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. It's still leaking. How is this even possible? We have a new hose. We have a new thermostat housing. How?